Hello, good morning, dear students. So, in today's class, we are discussing the next topic, which is called as chain reaction. As in the last previous class, we have discussed the nuclear energy, types of nuclear reactions. There are two types of nuclear reaction. One is nuclear fission, the other is nuclear fusion. Okay. So as you know that in the nuclear fission, heavy nucleus is going to be split into two or more lighter nuclei, whereas in nuclear fission, two lighter nuclei combine to form a heavy nuclei. Combines to form a heavy nuclei. So let us continue with the next topic. The name of the topic is chain reaction. As yesterday I explained you the nuclear fission reaction by giving an example that if you take an uranium isotope, when it undergoes a nuclear fission reaction, uranium 235 92, when it undergoes a nuclear fission reaction, so when it is combined with a neutron, then we are going to get two byproducts. One is a radioactive element, that is a barium, and plus a krypton, and releasing three more neutrons, with releasing a large amount of energy. By releasing a large amount of energy. So now, chain reaction. So during a nuclear fission reaction, uranium 235 92, during the nuclear fission of uranium 235 92, two or three neutrons are released, are ejected. Okay, during the nuclear fission of uranium 235 92, at least 2 to 3 neutrons are ejected. Okay, and a large amount of energy is released, plus a large amount of energy released during the nuclear fission reaction of uranium 235 92. 2 to 3 neutrons and large amount of energy is released, and the neutrons which are ejected, they undergo a nuclear fission. So this process is called as, this process when it is happening, a continuous reaction is happening, that is called as chain reaction. So these two or three neutrons which are released during the nuclear fission of uranium 234 92, again these 2 to 3 neutrons will undergo a fission reaction, and the process continues. That process is called as chain reaction. Okay. Now there are two types of chain reaction here. Okay. There are two types of chain reaction. Remember, students, here the nuclear fission reaction is happening only because of when this uranium 235 92, this isotope, uranium isotope of uranium 235 92, when it is combined with a neutron. So because of neutron only the reaction is happening here. Okay. So these neutrons, they undergo a further reaction. The process continues, takes place. That process is called as chain reaction. So there are two types of chain reaction. One is controlled chain reaction, and second one is uncontrolled chain reaction. Okay. Now let us discuss the first controlled chain reaction. Okay. In controlled chain reaction, the number of neutrons are allowed to increase to a certain number. Okay. And thereafter, whatever the neutrons are releasing, they are kept at constant. Means such a reaction is called as controlled chain reaction. Once again I am repeating here. In controlled chain reaction, number of neutrons are allowed to increase a certain level. Okay. These number of neutrons are allowed to increase to a certain level, and thereafter the number of neutrons which are increased, they are kept as a constant, and the process takes place. Such a reaction is called as controlled chain reaction. So in short, I can say that here the number of neutrons are kept constant here. They are under control. Okay. Only some certain few number of neutrons are increased. Thereafter it has been kept as a constant. Say for example, in nuclear fission reaction, the number of neutrons are increased to 10, and thereafter it is being kept as a constant. So throughout the reaction, the number of neutrons are going to remain in 10 number only. Okay. So such reaction is called as controlled chain reaction. So there, on reaction, there will be a controlled number of neutrons are there. Okay. Some constant number of neutrons are there, kept constant. Okay. In short, I am writing number of neutrons are kept constant. Say for example, in nuclear reactors. Okay. Nuclear reactors. Okay. In nuclear reactors, number of neutrons are increased to a certain level, and thereafter it has been kept as a constant, and a large amount of energy is going to be produced or released. Okay. Now next, there is uncontrolled chain reaction. So in uncontrolled chain reaction, number of neutrons are allowed to multiply indefinitely, and in a very short interval of time, a large amount of energy is being released. Such reaction is called as uncontrolled chain reaction. So in this reaction, there will be no control on the number of neutrons. They are multiplied to indefinitely. Okay. So such reaction is called as uncontrolled chain reaction. Okay. So this forms a principle for a nuclear bomb. So in nuclear bomb, what happens? For example, in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, okay, a nuclear bomb has been dropped. Okay. So there, in nuclear bomb, the number of neutrons are multiplied indefinitely. So there will be a large explosion is going to be happen. So due to this, a large amount of energy is going to be released in a very short interval of time. So such a reaction is called as uncontrolled chain reaction. So that means there is no control on the number of neutrons. So that is called as uncontrolled chain reaction. So these are the two types of chain reaction. Now next, that is multiplication factor. Multiplication factor. Okay. So in chain reaction, so whatever the reactions are happening, it is depending on the number of neutrons in it. So number of neutrons, that multiplication factor, that is called as a multiplication factor. Okay. Once again I am repeating here. Multiplication factor means here whatever the chain reaction is happening, that is happening only because of the number of neutrons only. So that is called as multiplication factor. That is based on the neutrons multiplication only the reaction is happening here. So multiplication factor means multiplication factor is it is defined as the ratio of number of neutrons in any one generation to the number of neutrons in the preceding generation. Is called, that is a multiplication factor. So chain reaction depends only on the multiplication of neutrons. Okay, it depends only on the neutrons only. So it is defined as it is the ratio of number of neutrons in any one generation to the number of neutrons in the preceding generation. Okay, so this is the definition of the multiplication factor. Okay, now say if this multiplication factor is equal to 1. Okay, if this multiplication factor is equal to k equal to 1, then the number of neutrons which are released, they are in constant, or you can say that is called as critical state. It is called as critical state. There the number of neutrons which are released, they are in constant. Okay, so that state is called as critical state. If this multiplication factor is less than 1, then that state is called as subcritical state. So where the number of neutrons are less than 1. Now next, if k is greater than 1, okay, then it is not under, the number of neutrons are not under control. So their numbers are going to be increased. So such state is called as supercritical state. Okay, so these are the conditions. If you remember, if it is k equal to multiplication factor, if it is k equal to 1, then that state is called as critical state. If the multiplication factor is less than 1, then that state is called as the subcritical state. If k is greater than 1, then that state is called as supercritical state, where the number of neutrons goes on increase. They are not under control. Okay, so this is all about the chain reaction. Two types of chain reaction: multiplication factor, so and the conditions here. Okay, note down this. So this is all about the multiplication factor here. Okay. So in the next topic we'll discuss the nuclear reactor. I will draw the diagram of a nuclear reactor and I will explain the main parts of the nuclear reactor. As you notice that in nuclear reactors a large amount of electricity is being produced, where the large amount of energy is released. So there the energy is released mainly because of due to the some fuels which are using there, and they are undergoing the nuclear fission reaction with some number of neutrons are allowed to increase to a certain level in that reactor. So thereafter it has been kept and a large amount of energy is being released. Okay. So you should remember that in nuclear reactor there is a controlled chain reaction is going to takes place. That means a number of neutrons are kept at a constant at a certain level and large amount of energy is being produced. Okay. I will draw that diagram and I will explain you one by one the main parts of the nuclear reactor. And this nuclear reactor, it was discovered by the name of the scientist, that is Enrico Fermi. Okay, I will explain it. So, well, dear students, so next our topic is nuclear reactor. So, nuclear reactor, it was first discovered by a name of the scientist, that Enrico Fermi. So, nuclear reactor is a device in which nuclear fission is produced by controlled chain reaction with the release of large amount of nuclear energy. It is a device in which a nuclear fission reaction is produced by under a controlled chain reaction with the release of large amount of nuclear energy. Here, the number of neutrons are increased to a certain level, and it has been thereafter it has been kept as a constant. By doing this, a large amount of energy, nuclear energy, is going to be released. So that energy can be used in producing, in generating electricity. Okay. Now, so this is the nuclear reactor diagram. Okay. So as it consists of some main important parts, these are the main parts here. Main parts of the nuclear reactor. So it is a diagram. So here the first main part is that here this nuclear reactor, it consists of nuclear fuel. As to run any vehicle or any bike, we need a petrol in that. We need a fuel which is called as a petrol. Okay. So similarly here in nuclear reactor also, to produce a large amount of nuclear energy, we need a nuclear fuel. That is called as so the nuclear fuel which we are using here, that it is a uranium 235 92. So a fissionable material which is used in a reactor is called, that is nuclear fuel. The fissionable material which are used in a nuclear reactor, that is called as nuclear fuel, and the fuel which we are using, that is uranium 235 92. So this is the most abundantly which we are using nuclear fuel here. Okay. Now next, that is moderator. So moderator are the device which slow down the neutrons here. Okay. So which slow down the neutrons. So the moderator which we are using in this nuclear reactor, either it might be a water or graphite, or in some nuclear reactors they are using a heavy water also. So these graphite and water and heavy water, they will slow down the neutrons to a thermal energy. Okay. So large amount of thermal energy is being produced there. So that here what they are doing, they will just slow down the neutrons to the some certain thermal energies. Okay. Now next there is control rods here. So this is moderator. मॉडरेटर क्या करता है आपके जो न्यूट्रॉन्स के नंबर्स को क्या करता है वो स्लो डाउन करता है ताकि ज्यादा हीट एनर्जी प्रोड्यूस ना हो सके. ओके. सो नेक्स्ट इज कंट्रोल रॉड्स. सो कंट्रोल रॉड्स एज द नेम itself it is telling that so there will be some control on the reaction. So this control rods controls the rate of fission. Okay. So by just adjusting the heights of the control rods, we can control the rate of fission, and these devices which controls the rate of fission. So the devices, the control rods which are using, those are cadmium and boron. The most commonly used control rods are cadmium and boron. This controls the rate of fission. Okay. Now next is coolant. So as in nuclear reactor, a large amount of energy is being produced, a large heat is being produced inside the nuclear reactor. So to cool that whole system, a whole nuclear reactor, we are using the coolants here, like carbon dioxide or water. Okay. When this coolant is being passed through the nuclear reactor, so they will reduce the temperature of the nuclear reactor by producing the steam, and that steam is being supplied to a turbine where the electricity is being generated. Okay. Some steam which is being generated, it is being passed to a turbine here. So the coolants which are using here, it is carbon dioxide or water here. Okay. This coolant, as the name itself, it is telling that it cools the nuclear reactor. Okay. As in the core, a large amount of heat is being produced, a high temperature is increased here. So to reduce the temperature of this nuclear reactor, we are using the coolants here. Okay. It will cool the nuclear reactor. So in turns, it is producing a steam. Okay. So that steam is being supplied to turbines. Next, that is a reflector. The next main part of the nuclear reactor is reflector. Reflector, as the name itself it is saying that this reflector, they will reflect back the neutrons. Okay. Inside this core, the nuclear reactor is being inside this nuclear reactor, it is being coated with the graphite. So the neutrons which are leaking outside from this core, so the neutrons which are leaking outside the core, they will get reflect back into the core, and so that they will not leak the neutrons, because as if the neutrons are leaked outside the nuclear reactor, then it will be very big harmful to the person who is a person or any animals or to the environment also. Okay. So as if they are producing harmful radiations, they might very harmful to the human beings or any animals or to the environment also. Okay. So that to avoid the leakage, what they are doing, they will coat with the graphite inside the nuclear reactor, so that the neutrons will reflect back into the core only. Okay. So now next there is reactor shield. So again, to avoid the leakage, this whole reactor is being surrounded with a concrete layer of thickness of 2 meters, so that to avoid the leakage of the neutrons. Okay. Here neutrons are playing a very important role in the fission reaction. Okay. As the as these neutrons, if they get leaked, then it will be very harmful. So to avoid that leakage, this whole reactor has been shielded with a concrete layer of thickness 2 meter. Okay. So this is all about the explanation of the main parts of the nuclear reactor. So they might ask you in the exam for 5 marks. Sometimes they might ask you to explain the main parts of the nuclear reactor. Okay. So in the next class we will discuss the next topic. Okay. Today we will stop here. Okay. So just to know the. Thank you.